All right, so you're asking what gives, right? I thought this was a golf instructional video, and here I am, I've got all this baseball stuff. I'm gonna show you a great way to beat what I think is one of the biggest problems in golf is people pulling with their arms to start their downswing. They pull down with their arms and they early extend. They pull down with their arms and they come over the top. There's so many different ways that people are just overusing their arms. And the rope bat, right? This is this baseball trainer that the company has so nicely sent me. It's an amazing thing that I use with my students. But I think just some of the visuals that you'll see in this video today, a couple of the drills I'll provide at the end, stick around for those, will show you exactly how to get rid of kind of that urge to hit, muscling the ball with your arms, right? If you're getting that sensation like the muscles are contracted as you're starting your downswing, and there's a lot of as we go to hit it, that's not really what we want, okay? So I'm gonna take a swing here at the rope bat, and what's cool about the rope bat is it's very light. It starts here just resting on your back, right? Which is very interesting in itself. And what the people that have developed this say it does, right? It does beautifully. They have a saying that you try to stay connected when you start the downswing, okay? And that means different than something in golf. Connected in rope bat or baseball terms is not doing this. See, here I'm disconnecting this from my back or from my body. Or there's some type of tension that's initiated in my arms, forearms, wrist, etc. So the big key with this is your first movement needs to be initiated with your legs, okay? So my legs kind of going in this fashion. Right, so I'm kind of digging in, I'm rotating, my weight's moving forward, I'm kind of starting to crunch this right side all at the same time before anything happens in my hands and arms. And that's one of the big keys is they get in like this, they stay connected, and then they extend through, right, hitting a nice long rope bat home run. Let's see how I do here, right? No judgment. Just kidding, I wasn't trying to hit that. Let's do it again. There we go. So my students have really enjoyed this because literally everyone that I put on here, once you kind of put just that weightless feel of the rope bat, you start to really feel what it really senses and feels like to start your downswing with your lower body with no movement at all. I'm talking not even a finger push with your hands and arms, okay? And many golfers out there are definitely doing that. It's something that we don't even feel a lot, okay? So how can we take that rope bat sensation, translate it into some golf realms? What I'll actually have them do is I'll have them hit the rope bat balls next, and I'll have them start kind of like a baseball player, just up here resting it on your back, and slowly start to feel that initiation of the lower body. So you notice how far I'm moving my lower body before the bat starts to come off of my back, right? It's obviously not a rope, but I'm moving around quite a bit before this starts to come through. So here I am, boom, initiate, and then the bat comes off. And I'll have them hit these little foam balls just because it's very low pressure, right? Initiate, stay connected, come through. And they're obviously not gonna go very far or very straight no matter what you do, so there's literally no consequence. Initiate with the lower body, hands and arms do nothing, come through. Here's the biggest reason why this is so hard to do, okay? Let me explain this to you. It's what I call getting underneath the shot, okay? And underneath to most players seems bad. Like people think like, oh, my club head is underneath, right? Or I'm staying back here, I'm underneath. Underneath means something different to me. It's what great players do, and it's what poor players, right? Players that are over the top, early extended, all the different things, out of balance on the downswing, steep club shafts. These players are on top of it, okay? They're not underneath it like this. So you notice the difference in where my pelvis, where my arms, and where the club is. It's much easier to do in baseball. That's why if we put all the golfers out there in the world and we said, hey, go hit a baseball, they're all gonna do something that's a lot better because the ball is up here. It's a lot easier to get my pelvis, my center of gravity underneath myself as I come down. So I get to much healthier positions. If we looked at most golfers, if they were hitting a baseball up here, you would see a lot of this. Now they're what I call on top of it, okay? Now be careful because I'm using those terms a little differently than we mostly hear, but I'm saying on top of it as in a bad way. Like I'm literally pushing this club down into a steep downswing position, and my upper body is way ahead of it, right? My center of mass is much higher compared to being underneath it, right? People get a little scared of underneath it because they think, well, how am I gonna compress the ball? It's like, no, you can still compress it. We could, in theory, compress it like this, but this is not a good place to compress it from. My upper body's way too far forward, right? So you're really not gonna hit it very far. Hey, it's your coach, Zach Allen here. And when it comes to the golf swing, I've seen and tried it all. But nothing is proven as effective as the concept I'm about to share with you now. It is the single most powerful piece of golfing advice I've ever come across. In fact, I would go so far as to call it a magic move. Since I don't have the time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part web class where I teach you exactly how to put it to use in your game. Nothing held back. I call it my Magic Move training series, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. You won't find these videos anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll send you the first session right away. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to that lesson. So once you've done some, with maybe some wiffle balls or something, I've even used cracked balls at the driving range, the really bad ones that you get there that are not even worth hitting. You can kind of mimic that like the yellow balls there. And then start to hit some regular golf balls where you go, okay. So I just put it on my right shoulder, real soft arms. I bring it back just a few inches. And then I start that connected feeling where I'm like, okay, I feel my body really starting to initiate the downswing. That's something that's going to feel very different to a lot of you before the club moves. It's all lower body, and then let it come off. But that would really be one of the first sensations, especially for those of you that are pushing here or doing any type of motion like that, that would feel really different. But once this starts to move correctly, we start to see our right arm, our trail side really get into a much better position. Let's do it again. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it back into just kind of a normal backswing. And obviously here, it's a pretty normal spot. I'm going to feel like my hands and arms are still just resting, right? The rope bat, the club is resting on my shoulders, and I'm just going to totally leave it alone. I'm going to feel that coming down, and then go ahead and hit it. But boy, I really feel my feet are much more active as I start down. My feet are helping me move my knees help me move my pelvis, both forward and rotationally. That helps give me a little trail side bend, so I'm behind it. And then I really get this sensation that my center of mass is nice and low. It's not up, right? It's not up and higher as we're coming down. It's not this way coming down. Those are definitely going to be faulty things. So I hope some of this imagery kind of helps you out. Obviously from that point, I just like to start making feels and motions where, oh yeah, that feels exactly like that initial rope bat. That feels exactly like the secondary swing where I had the club like this. I can feel this kind of sinking sensation as I start down. I can feel my knees, great players say their knees, Mo Norman said his knees break towards the target. I can feel that as I start down. But it's definitely a very grounded lower body sensation, right? And then we start to take that into regular golf swings. You can practice it once, feel it, and then go ahead and let it rip. So, take that for what it's worth. The rope bat, you might go out and take a look. I can put a link there if you have any questions. We'll put a different video up there to see some of it. Somebody should maybe invent a golf club trainer that's similar to it because it's very good for baseball. But I definitely think just some of those visuals will really help your game out, okay? I've got another video here if you want a little more information on how to start the downswing with the lower body. This is a great one to look at. But if my videos have ever helped you out, give me some comments, give me some love down below. I answer all the comments on there. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you'd like to see next. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Have a fantastic week.